All right, so all right, we're recording right now. So Eddie, what's good, bro?
How's it going, Andres?
All good, man. So look, I want to get straight to the point. Let's give people some context on what they're looking at, what they're hearing. So who are you? What's your name? What do you do?
All right, so my name is Eddy Soto. I like to go by the rapper name of Fade. That all started with my friend Ramiro. We'd always hang out. We'd always get really lit, and I'd always be passed out, faded, as they would say. And so I just became Fade. Honestly, that was the rapper name. And we like making some music. We're known as YBL. I really hope you guys enjoy our music once we drop it. We have some stuff out right now, and I really hope you guys enjoy. You know.
Yeah. So I know previously our connection wasn't the best, but let's kind of summarize what we first spoke about in the first 10 minutes. So you already said how you got your name, like what instrument you played, how you got into music, what was like your first instrument, and is like music like a hobby or is it a full-time thing that you're trying to pursue here?
Of course. Well, so my main instrument that I mostly played was guitar. I know a little bit of like bass or piano, but it was mostly guitar, and that's how it really started with me making music. I would make some riffs, or I'd play a couple of notes, and then I would write like maybe a verse or a chorus, and that's how it started with me writing. But with me actually going into the booth and speaking into a mic, it started with my friend Ramiro. He got into a situation, and somebody in the midst of the situation told him to make a mixtape, and so he started making a mixtape. And one day he invited me to go with him to New York, which is where he goes and gets everything done, records, mix and master. And he told me to hop on a song, and I was like, I'm definitely down. At first I was a little nervous hopping onto the mic, but it was a fun experience. It's
Mm-hmm.
something to enjoy the first time. You sound a little nervous, and then as you start getting used to it, you sound better. You know.
I feel like so. Like, did people know you about like that guy that knows how to like play an instrument, knows how to rap, knows how to like write music? Like, how did people recognize you about like your talent?
Um, for me, it was just my friend Ramiro. He knew I would like to play guitar, and he asked me to hop on. I did do a talent show before at high school. I used to play in church, and some people kind of had an idea that I really like music a lot because I would always be that kid in the hallway with like headphones on. The principal's always telling you to take your headphones off. I was always that kid. So people some might have had an idea possibly, but now it's just me, put my music on Instagram and asking people to listen, give us some feedback. But it mostly started with my friend Ramiro.
I feel that. I feel that. So you said like it's a hobby. So like out of like how many songs do you post or like how active are you on like social media or like SoundCloud, Spotify, whatever platform you're using? Like how aggressive are you um, in terms of producing music or writing music?
Well, right now it's sort of more of a hobby at the moment because I have some stuff I've been working on. But the reason I'm working on this stuff right now is actually because I'm trying to get some bread so I can get my own crib and have my own spot where I can actually have a studio and have my friends come and do their thing. That's one of my main goals. But as for now, it's a hobby. We do have a couple songs we're working on right now and some stuff I'm working on personally. But at the moment, it's more of a hobby. But if stuff really works out, let's say, and somebody listens to it and it gets word to somebody who's really up there and they really like our music and they want us to
Mm-hmm.
hop in, I would definitely, hop in and join and take advantage of the situation.
Yeah. So like out of curiosity, like where do you post your music? Like not only on do you post it on SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, like all the platforms? Like which ones do you use?
For right now, it's SoundCloud because we haven't really been buying our beats. We've been getting them
Mm-hmm.
from YouTube and we download them. But we've been looking into actually buying beats recently. Some are more expensive than others. People are trying to get their name up and their paper up, so I respect it. But right now, we want to go on all platforms with the next thing that we're working on, which is sort of like an EP, but it's also kind of a mixtape. But if we're able to buy all the beats, we would like to put it on all platforms, which would be Spotify, Apple Music, and all the above. Title, whatever we can do.
So out of like curiosity and to add like some value to any like MCs, any rappers or any artists listening to this right now, if they can't produce any beats, like where would one go to purchase a beat?
We've been looking in YouTube mostly, honestly. And they always have a selection. Like they always have a website where people can go and purchase things. We've also met with different people who like to make their own beats, and they show us their portfolio or what they're working on. And if we like something, we'll ask them like the pricing for it. And then if we want, we'll all proceed together. We'll all put our cash together and try to buy the beat. And that's what we're looking to work on right now, so we can go on all platforms, especially YouTube, because we don't want any copyright problems or
Sure.
anywhere or
Yeah.
any of that.
Like, how much would a beat cost, for example?
So I'm looking at a beat right now. For a song that it's called "Damn," honestly, that I'm working with Ramiro, and that guy's only charging like $30. But then there's this other beat that this guy has on YouTube that I really liked a lot, but he's trying to sell it for like $300. So it kind of
Jeez.
varies right now.
Yeah.
You know.
So when you buy the beat, it's yours. Like, no one else can use it, right?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of different ways. I think there's like a leasing. I haven't looked too much into it. We have actually a manager that works with us, and he's helping us look into it. But you can fully buy it out for like a flat price. And so after, let's say if you do make some money off of it, it's all your revenue that you would be getting. But if we lease it, let's say for like 5 years, and the song is out for 5 years, and then it doesn't start making money until like 2-3 years afterwards. In between those 5 years, then if we start making money out of it, the person who produced it actually starts getting a percentage of that revenue.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, I was gonna say, like, if you have like your music in multiple platforms, then your reach will be out there. You know, if you only use one, that's gonna be harder. And I know it's only just a hobby, but like, yeah, it's a good idea to have like your content, your music out on more platforms, and that way you can get a better chance of like reaching it, right? And
Yeah, definitely.
I remember, so you said like your group with Ramiro is called YBL.
Yeah, YBL, also known as well, the acronym for it is Young Broke Latinos.
Yeah, I love that. Like, I was gonna say, like, have you watched like on Netflix just this show, like the evolution of hip hop?
I think I haven't seen it, but I don't know if it's the one where like they interview a couple of like different rappers. I
Yeah,
think it
yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen the Logic one. That one was nice. I haven't fully seen all of them.
Yeah, because the reason why I bring that up was because with like I think it was like Cash Money Records, or it was like with Birdman and them, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and like he was like the second guy who really started like the revolution of like hip hop like in like New Orleans. But the point is that
Mm-hmm.
like they didn't have like individual rappers; they had like a group, and like once they had that group and once they're like solidified, it was much easier for them to be solidified because you're like a group. You know what I mean? And then as they got bigger and bigger, that uh, that group that was like with Birdman, Lil Wayne, like I think I forgot what the other guys were, but all those guys they split and had like their own separate albums and were huge or popular. So like the analogy or the same principle can happen with you guys, where like you have your group, and then eventually as guys grow in popularity, you can do your own thing. So for example, like even Migos, like in the modern day, like music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like those guys are like everyone knows Migos, but each of those guys like Offset and them, they have like their own songs and whatnot.
Yep, they
So point
definitely
is
do.
like you guys can accelerate that growth as a group, and then further down the line have your own songs or your own features. So that's like something to like, I guess like a not a long term thing, but something that you can really like strategize behind. And I think it's a good idea if you guys did it intentionally or not. But it's always fun as a group though. Like when you write your music, is it
Mm-hmm.
always fun to do it with the group or like individually?
Well, so far, mainly what we've been doing is individually at our homes, and then we come together and we practice and we get it down, But we've tried working in a group, but it's not very productive. We always like to fool around, you know how we are. We're very laid back and we like to have fun. So it's a little hard when we're together, but I think it's something we should really work on to get our chemistry together. But it's
Mm-hmm.
funny that you bring up like the show that you're talking about right there on Netflix, because it reminds me of this other show that I was watching. It's the Wu-Tang Clan series that came
Oh
out on
yeah, it's
Hulu.
on Hulu. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
want to
and so
watch
I
that.
watched them, and it's been very inspirational, honestly. Because like you said, they actually used to rap differently. They were like in a competition where they all rapped separately and stuff, and then they all started coming together. You know what I mean? And then it started blowing up and started doing well. And so that's funny that you mentioned that, because that's actually what comes to mind.
Yeah.
When you mention that.
Is it true like their stories like they literally just like smoke weed like in the stairway, rap for fun, and I don't know how they got discovered or how they made it big, but they're just doing it for fun with their boys, smoking weed and just rapping, right?
Yeah, that's all. That's all that it really was.
And like in that time, it was like much harder because like right now you have social media, you have all these platforms, but at that time they only had like I don't know like cassette tapes or whatever, and then they had like the radio, and if you're lucky to be put on that, right? So it's definitely
Hmm.
like a better chance nowadays to make it into the music industry. And like to be fair, like even though you're doing it just as a hobby, like you still have a good fair chance of like making it, right? It's like your side hustle, you're focusing on other things, and it's definitely a possibility, you know?
No, definitely. But you got to be able to pop out in a sea of a lot of different artists. You know what I mean? You got to be something different. a lot of people want to be like certain artists, you know, and so they just sort of, they're part of it, but they're not really standing out. They're not popping out, you know, and so it's hard to really pop out. Like for us personally, we really don't like to use a lot of like auto tune or different things to our voices. We like to keep it natural. So that's one thing, one feedback that we've gotten from a lot of people, that they really like the fact that we're using our natural voices and that it sounds really clean off the bat, you know?
Yeah. So when you write your music, do you kind of like tell a story, or do you kind of rap about things that you kind of like fantasize, or a mixture of both?
Sometimes it's a mixture of both. I'll exaggerate in certain things, maybe. Um, like Money Dreams is a song that we're working on. That's sort of like a fantasy, like dreams that we've had, like, you know, about when we make money, you know, and then we speak about it there. It's not out yet, but we're working on that one. But then we also have a song that I'm working on called Damn, you know, which was inspired by a certain series of events about a female, you know, whatever. And you know, so it's a mixture of things.
Yeah, I definitely feel like a lot of rappers nowadays, not that I'm hitting, I'm thinking like other people, they may not like the idea of like talking about things that don't really, I feel like a lot of people like why they like music is because they kind of connect with the artist. That's why I think like Drake or other like big time artists, the ones that are like not like pop out of nowhere and then like go away a week after, like the really long term artists, I think like they speak facts, you know, and that's what people can really connect with, right? Because like a lot of rappers, like they can talk about like flossing, making money, getting girls, but not everyone has that luxury, right? But if you talk about like a true event, losing someone, like losing a girlfriend, boyfriend, or whatever it is, like a lot of people can connect to that. And I feel like that's like where the true music, and this is only my opinion, like where the true music comes out and a lot of people can connect with. And that way you can possibly like, you know, make it. And I guess when you do make it, you can like, I guess, exaggerate a little bit more, you know?
Not definitely. I think that's why people could connect to like that song Marvin's Room. You know, people really like Drake and It's Marvin's Room. And that's why I feel like it's a great song, because he speaks about something that everybody's been heartbroken before, you know, and it's something to connect with easily.
Yeah, definitely. So like even with the like we're both like Hispanic, and like I'm pretty sure like our parents, they love like that cumbia, bachata, and like all those love stories, like those romantic songs, you know. And that's because they can all relate to it, you know. Those guys, like the people that sing that music, like I don't know if they're extremely wealthy, but they just talk about like real life circumstances, and that's why like our parents, our family, our culture, our Hispanic culture, like our roots, kind of like align with what those musicians are talking about, you know.
No, definitely. That's why I like listening to like Marco Antonio Solis or like Tierra Cali or like Samba Chato with Alexandra and Monchi. You know, you gotta switch it
Yeah.
up sometimes from rap. You know what I mean? And listen to things back then. You know, because that's where a lot of this stuff came from. You know, and you can't forget what the roots are. You can never forget that, because then it adds your own personal touch to how things are. Like I have a
Yeah.
song that I'm working on. I don't have a name for it yet, but I do have a verse in there in Spanish. You know what I mean? And I can't really wait to drop it, because it's coming from the heart, from a situation that I lived through, and I feel like many people can actually relate to it, because I feel like I'm not the only one whose parents have been taken away from this country. You know what I mean? And had to struggle on their own, or maybe they had their own, or they had family. You know, but it's not easy being without a parent in the country.
Yeah.
You know, being young. So I feel like somebody can definitely relate to that song, and I can't really wait to drop onto that too.
So to add like context, like where are you from? Where are your parents from?
Well, I was born in California, you know, thanks to my mom and my dad, but they were from El Salvador. Salvador. They're out there right now, you know, working hard, and you know, hopefully I can bring them back soon here, you know.
Definitely feel that, bro. So you went from California to Connecticut, or did you move any spot before moving here to
Um,
Connecticut?
it was from California to Connecticut, but I did live in Georgia for a little bit. That was a different experience. You know, people out there they're pretty kind, you know, but there was some racism also there, you know. But most of all, people were mostly kind, you know, and I really like that southern feeling of how people really were, the hospitality and everything.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a little off topic, but like I was gonna say, like, I mean, if you think about it, the United States is pretty big, and like each state has its own vibe. Not that I've traveled to many states before, but you can just assume that like each state has its own vibe, and it's kind of cool that you have like that experience of like being in the West Coast, being in Georgia, and then being in Connecticut. You know, you kind of experience different cultures, and I think like, you know, when you listen to the radio or whatever, you're not going to listen to the same thing that you listen to in Connecticut when you're in Georgia. So maybe that inspires you in different ways and get different flavors, and, you know, kind of makes your taste, I guess, more open, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. Like when I was living in Georgia, I had never heard of, when I was over here at least, I never heard of J. Cole. And the first time I heard J. Cole was actually in the South before he blew up, and I think it was the Friday Nights Lights mixtape that had just came out. and it was one of the most fire tapes that everybody always talks about, and so that was definitely a nice vibe that I got before it came up here.
Definitely. So like when you like every artist, it can be drawing or music, they always get inspiration from other artists and kind of make their own sauce. So like for your sauce, like what does your ingredients come from? So a lot of it comes from like your natural roots from like the Hispanic culture. Like what type of musicians kind of like, I don't know, like sprinkle your, basically what I'm trying to say, what kind of artists kind of resemble your work in one way or another?
Definitely. I feel like J. Cole, because he speaks a lot about, who he is and the truth. I like to listen to Jay Critch a lot because he's mostly talking about making his money, and that's what we're all about. We're all trying to get to the bag nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I like to listen to Dave East because he's another artist who truly raps about what he's lived through and everything. It's a little it's I mean, I never lived his life, having to grow up in the hood and none of that. I'm not gonna act like I'm this hood person and all that, but I can respect where he's coming from, and I can see through his pain and through his music and through everything he's been writing. And I feel also artists probably like Drake, because he's very versatile, and I'm trying to be very versatile. He can go soft, and then he can go hard, and then he can go hard. So definitely mostly those are my top artists I've been listening to lately. But Spanish music as well. I've been listening to like Marco Antonio Solis, like I said, Tierra Cali, Tigres del Norte, some bachata. I like to mix it up. It adds flavor to everything.
Definitely, that's a good variety. So like, what's like the process of you writing your music? Do you like listen to a beat and you're like, damn, like maybe there's a good hook to this, a good verse I can kind of like say, or do you kind of like in the middle of your day, you kind of just think of a random verse and you need to write it down, and then you kind of build a song around that verse? Like, how does it work? Like, how does your mind work?
Honestly, for me, it starts off with the beat, because with the beat, it kind of gives me the idea of how I'm feeling at the moment, or if I'm feeling this beat, what could I be writing about it? Like the song I'm working on right now called "Smoke My Dope." It was a hard day after work, and then I was just scrolling through beats, and I heard a beat that I really liked, and I was like smoking at the time, and it kind of had that vibe to it. And so I started listening to songs like "In the Kabadu," "Keep Flowing" with Mac Miller and Wiz Khalifa. A lot of Wiz Khalifa actually too, but it mostly starts off with the beat.
Okay, yeah, I feel like, yeah, I've always wondered because I always thought like artists, like they keep like a notebook or they keep something where they can just write their music down, and then once they find that beat, they kind of match their lyrics with the beat. But I guess, yeah, I mean, it can go many ways. I'm not an artist myself, but I always thought that like people just wrote their music down and then later found the beat. But
Yeah,
that's not the.
I mean, for me, it's a little different because I like to flow with the beat. I like to make sure that I'm flowing with it, or maybe it goes off, but I'm off with it, so it sort of seems like I'm on beat. Um, but I have a couple songs where I did start just writing. It was more like at the time I was sort of just trying to write some poetry, because I have like actually notebooks of just me writing whatever how I'm feeling at the time, and then I just start putting it into my music, and then I'll go back into those notebooks and pull something out of it. So there's like a couple of different things there.
Yeah. So when you like write your music or like think of something, are there like days or like some things that you want to express but you don't really say it, or maybe you do say it but it's kind of like cryptic, like you kind of like say it but without really saying it? Like, are there any songs or any verses that you have that kind of like symbolizes what you want to say but you're not trying to say it exactly?
Um, Honestly, to be honest with you, I actually just really like to write what I have in mind, and what I say it, and I say it in a different format, because I'm not trying to because I'm not a rapper, so I can't really be saying things like I have all these females. I can't be saying all these things, but I try to work my way around it to sort of match their energy that they use.
Okay, so you're more like a poet where like you need to like really think and kind of like paint a picture to your work and then you sing it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I respect that. Like, I think not everyone has to like be on the spot, say something on the spot. You can definitely like paint a picture, really convey what your message is trying to be before you say it out loud.
No, definitely, definitely. But I like to take my time, and I really like to write from the heart. Or sometimes I'll just write to have fun, like that song Fowler. We were just having fun that day, and I was just thinking about the experiences
Yeah.
there, having fun. That's all that it was.
So in total, like right now, so you have, what projects are you working on now, and how many songs, tracks, albums have you dropped on SoundCloud?
I mean, honestly, I've only had a couple of songs on SoundCloud. I believe it was like Ice Age, Fowler. I think there's one more in there. I kind of forget sometimes. But right now that we're working on right now, we have, I believe it's 3 to 4 songs that I'm on, but we have a couple more because we're a group, so we're all trying to work on different things. But personally, also, I have my own projects that I'm working on. I have like about my own projects aside from YBL. I have like about 3 projects, 4 projects also that I'm working on.
Hmm. And did you give like yourself a deadline when you're going to complete those projects, or is it kind of just like when you have time?
Honestly, I don't have a deadline because I feel like I work best when I'm really not under pressure, but also when I am under pressure when I need to be.
Yeah.
But mostly because I want to take my time with these songs because they're a part of me, you know what I mean? And there's something that I live through, and I just want to make sure that I get it out properly and that people can connect to it, you know?
Hmm. So it's going to be in your personal SoundCloud because I want to add like a link. So for anyone who's listening, they can click on your link and listen to any up and coming music that you're going to drop.
I don't have an account at the moment yet because I haven't really been on to all that. Right now, we've been using that one account on our friends. His name is Ramiro. He's
Hmm.
been mostly posting all of our stuff as YBL. But I will have I do want to make an account with my personal songs that I will be working on, and as soon as I'm able to get a SoundCloud going, I would like to give it to you and your listeners as well could give it a click and let me know.
Yeah, that would be dope. I mean, as long as you like definitely start and like looping back to what you said, finding your beats, acquiring the beats, hopefully like on a at a better price, or even finding a producer. Like now that like you're in the game, right? Now that you're in the game, have you like gotten more connections with like producers, rappers, like musicians in general?
I've been trying to actually. I have met a couple different artists that I would love to work with, but I just haven't had the time to yet. As for producers, I have found one other producer that I do want to work with. He's in Stamford, so hopefully, it works out and we're able to record with him. But mostly, we've been working with our producer named Uno. He's gone through a couple of different studios. Some stuff has happened. I remember being in the what was it? I forgot what it was. Honestly, the name of the studio, but stuff happened and he had to move. And I really liked the vibe there, because you felt like you were at home. They could change the colors to the lights, and you felt very comfortable.
Yeah, I feel you. So like how like to give context of like the music game in Stanford. So I know like Stanford's like 45 minutes away from New York, taking the MTA and whatnot. Whereas like the music or rap hub of the world, New York City, right?
Hmm.
In terms of
Definitely.
like Stanford or like the tri-state area, like Bridgeport, um, Stanford, like what's like the music like in Stanford? Like, is there a lot of rappers, a lot of musicians? Like, how is it here, if you know?
Um, I don't know too much, but from what I've seen, there's a lot more rappers up in Bridgeport. I met a lot of rappers in Bridgeport. There's definitely a lot more also in Norwalk. As for Stanford, I don't know too many artists, but the ones that I've seen, they've been working hard. Born Baked, I believe, has somebody on there known as E Murda, and honestly, I like his music a lot. He's very he speaks about what he's lived through, and you can hear his pain and you can hear his feelings and everything on there. So that's one of the people I really like to listen to. Also like to listen to. He was known as Jay Scat, but now I think believe he's known as Jay Lat. He's
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram. He has his music on all platforms as well, I believe, and he's somebody I really like to listen to as well. I kind of know him a little bit. I don't really know him too much. You know what I mean? I've seen him around. I know he used to go to church as well, and I would see him there. But I never really personally knew him too much. But he seemed like a very good person, and I really like what he's writing about.
Mm-hmm. Like, do you have like any people that you want to collaborate? Like, not in terms of like big stars. We'll get to that later. But like people that you want to collaborate like locally. Maybe like grow your brand, grow your music within like the tri-state area bubble. And then really expand across the nation.
Well, for right now, definitely would be Jay Scott. I would say I like his flow. I don't have too many people in mind, if but I would like to work with whoever's down to work. That's all that it really is. I'm not really picky with anybody. I want everybody to give their own flow, their own taste to the music because it adds variety, and that's what I really like to see in a song. Because you can be going up and down, and it's like a roller coaster that you feel when listening to the song, and it's a very great experience.
Yeah. Like, who do you think like has more leverage nowadays? Is it like the producer or like the rapper? Because I feel like 5 years ago, the MCs, the rappers, they were like the main guys. Now, like a lot of
Hmm.
people who are getting a lot of clout, a lot of fame, are the people actually producing the beat. you know? I feel like things are
Hmm.
being like, the tables have turned a little. Do you think that's true in some way?
In some ways, yeah, I believe so. I do believe so. But also, I feel like rappers really do have a big influence on that. As for the producers, them too, because they make a beat and they put it out there for the artist to do their work on it, and so it's like a canvas that they put out there for an artist to do his painting as well. But they're also producing their own masterpiece, and so I feel like they both should get credit, not more one than the other, because they both work hard for what they've been doing. But you're right, because honestly, I mostly know more artists than producers, but I've been noticing more producers coming up that I've been seeing.
Yeah, I definitely feel that as well. So, quick question: like, if you were to work with, like, I don't know, pick three artists to work with, in your project or new projects that you want to come up with, what would they be? Who would they be?
Like local, or do you mean like?
Anyone.
I mean, for me, honestly, my number one and will always be my number one. I would love to work with J. Cole. Honestly, big inspiration to me. And next would be Jay Critch, and I would love to make a song with Wiz Khalifa. Honestly, if I were to shoot for the stars.
Yeah, I feel like Wiz Khalifa is like, he's in a lot of more features. Like, I don't really listen to his music religiously, but I feel like he just been featuring in a lot of people's like music, especially like new upcoming rappers. I don't really feel
Hmm.
he drops like any new stuff out there. I may be wrong, but I feel like
I
he's
think
more like in a business grind.
definitely. I think he's actually working on something right now. I might be wrong, but I saw that he was just trying to like find a name for the a title for his album or I think EP. I'm not too sure what it is actually that he's going to be dropping soon. But
Uh,
definitely he's been featuring on many different people's things. And new up and coming rappers. Like there's this song that he has with a couple of Spanish rappers, and he killed it. He killed it, and they killed it. And so hopefully they're also going up there.
hmm And like another interesting thing that you said, Jay Critch. Like, you're like the first person that I've heard who said like they actually listened to Jay Critch, because I actually listened to him as well, and
Hmm.
he's from, I think, like New York City, and I just like his flow. You know what I mean? And I feel like he talks like a lot of facts. He does like to floss and whatnot, and like to stunt and talk about.
Oh, definitely,
But
definitely.
it's a lot of fun. I just like his flow, to be honest. He like speaks so fast and fluently. It's like really dope. I like his style.
Yeah, no, I like his style too. It's very different. It's different.
I feel like he's more low key. Like not everyone knows about him, but he's like still popular.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely is. Hopefully, he goes worldwide. Honestly, man, because he seems to be up working hard. And I don't know, some people they don't know about him, and I put them onto him, and they really like his music, and they really start listening to it a lot.
Yeah, I feel like when you like put people on music, I feel like it's kind of like you can only lead them to like the source. You can't be like, "Yo, listen to this," because like I don't know. I feel like people can sometimes feel like they don't like when like, I guess like what I'm trying to say here is like, when you try to put people on like a certain song or a certain like artist, they don't really like that. They like to like discover them themselves, and then like be like, "Yo, you to Jay Critch as well," and then you kind of make like a bond between
Hmm.
that connection. But he's definitely like a really cool artist that can make it like really big. I think I checked his Spotify. I forgot how many monthly uh, listeners he has, but it's kind of impressive. Something that's like that caught my attention was that like I thought like on Spotify, like not YouTube, but like on Spotify, rappers make a lot of money or any artists make a lot of money, but supposedly it's like not as much as you think. You know, Spotify is mainly like a tool to really like put your music out there. But I think on YouTube, if you create your own channel, you can definitely rake in more dollars. You know.
Yeah, I believe that too, because the visuals, it really grabs a lot of people's attention. You know what I mean? The visuals. That's one thing that I was speaking with. There's this videographer in New York who also works with, I believe, Uno. His name is Mo Dallas. He was telling us while we're making our music to put visuals, even if it's just a couple photos, and then when we're ready for a music video, he could help us out. And so he was definitely speaking about the visuals. It's very important because when you see a good music video, it grabs your attention a lot, with all the different like animations they do, or maybe the story they do. It's really attention grabbing.
I definitely believe that. I feel like there's some songs that like, even if you don't listen or see the visual itself, the
Hmm.
the whole project will be okay. But now that you add that visual, it just like does something. Like, are you familiar with Lyrical Lemonade?
Yes,
With
lyrical
like
lemonade. Yes.
like there's like the guy who made that brand is called like Cole Bennett. I'm pretty sure you heard of him. And there's something called
Yeah.
like the Cole Bennett effect. So whoever he collaborates with, whoever he worked with, that person just like goes up to the next level times 1,000. You know, now they become like somebody or like nobody to like really somebody. You know, and it
Yep.
just takes that one song, that one music video, to really like change. And that's kind of crazy. Like in like the music industry, like it really just takes that one song to really make a career. You know.
Definitely, definitely. And that's what we're shooting for. You know, we want to make multiple songs like that because if we make it that far, you know, we want to make it last. We want to have fun. You know, we don't want to cut it short. We want to live out that life. You know, that lifestyle. My friend Ramirez always talking about how he wants to be iced out. So hopefully he's always iced out all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Right now he's always iced out when he's injured, yo. He's always injured. He got to ice that what is it, hamstring or whatever he has. He's always
Yeah.
injured.
Yeah, it's always injured, and he just slaps his necklace on that, bro. It's iced out. He's good.
Yeah. That's what's up, bro. But yeah, man. So look, there's a couple more questions before we finish up here. So we already talked about like the artists that you'd like to work with. You're not entirely sure when your new projects are gonna drop per se, but I would like whenever you tell me that you have like a link up, I can definitely add that to like the podcast. I can always re-edit it. But yeah, I want to say like looping back to like your origin name, Fade. I feel like that's like a really unique name. I think we spoke about it before. It's like only like one syllable and it's really catchy, you know? And I feel like rappers with like really long names, it's kind of hard for any listener to really grab one's attention. With Fade, it's just like right on the spot. You can really like, you already have the name, the brand. And what I'm going with all this is that like, you have the name, you have the background, you have like multiple ingredients with your music, you know, you have a background in music. I think like nowadays, a lot of rappers, since there's so many rappers, so much competition, I feel like you need to add some narrative. And what I mean by that is like people like knowing like the behind the scenes of what rappers do. Like what do they do on a Saturday night? What are they doing at 2:00 in the morning? Are they writing beats? Are they eating like cereal? Like they like to know the life of a rapper. Is that something like you kind of like thought of? Like I know this is like you're doing this for fun, but when you're with your group, with your homies, or even like by yourself, like have you ever thought of like creating a vlog of some sort to kind of document your music lifestyle? If that makes sense.
No, definitely. That's something that we do actually want to work on. Like here and there, we'll do like some voice memos of like some funny stuff we'll be talking about. We've actually been thinking about wearing body cams when we get lit, just to see how that goes, or have a camera with us, just like when we're all together. You know, it's something that we want to do, something that we want to work on. Because sometimes, honestly, we just have fun conversations, you know. And then if when we talk about making it, we have even funnier conversations.
Yeah,
You know,
man.
sometimes we have like a moment where we feel like we're not, you know, a person working a 9 to 5. You know, we feel like we're living well. You know, we're doing well. You know, but then reality hits and it feels different after that. But in that moment, you feel like it's a mini escape. You know, like you're kind of sort of living your dream a little bit, and that's something that we kind of want to pursue. It's a feeling we really want to pursue.
Yeah, because like to be honest, like I don't really like hang out with you guys like OD amounts, you know, with your tight knit group. But whenever I do hang out with you guys, it's like mad funny. You know, you guys say some wild stuff. It's like it's hilarious, and that makes me think like if I'm laughing, I know for a fact other people would enjoy listening to what you guys have to say, right? And so like I don't know if you have like a YBL Instagram page or a Facebook, TikTok YBL page, but it'll be hilarious. Literally, you don't need any high production stuff. You have someone just recording your conversation, recording any bars you're spitting out, whatever freestyle or whatever verse you're thinking about in your head. You know, you just create content. And the cool thing about it is like since you have a group, you know, you don't only the whole burden isn't on you, right? It can be everyone collaborating on this one social media page, grow the group collectively, right? Everyone puts in their part, you know, and then when you guys are all together, someone just records your conversation, do an Instagram live, for example. And like, you know, you grow your following like that as a group. And then, like I said, as your group gets bigger and bigger, further down the line, if things go very well, you can be more independent. And that's why look back into like Migos or like Wu-Tang Clan, you know, there's like 10 members of the Wu-Tang Clan and they all have their own like albums out, you know what I mean? So it's like, point is like, you can definitely like do that, like do like the life behind YBL and then talk about each individual member, you know, to really put your stuff out there and really put your name out there.
No, definitely. That's something that we really would love to do. I feel like we'll just have fun with it, and we won't even realize that there's a camera there, you know. And then hopefully people feel how genuine we are with with who we really are, and just having fun with it. You know, because I feel like being genuine is what really matters. Because if you switch up and you start acting fake and you start acting like something that you're really not, I feel like people can sense that, and then it doesn't attract them anymore, and it pushes people away. You know?
Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't really follow Drake like that, but how dope would it be if he had his own vlog and you see like behind the scenes of what he's doing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it'll be dope. Like, it'll be, people love his music, people like his lifestyle, but I think people would like to see like what he's doing like on a daily basis. You know, that'll be really dope. Same thing can go for you. They can see the journey of like you guys, like starting from the bottom and then going up, documenting that whole thing. That'll be that dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that would definitely be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like you got, yeah, like point is like you guys don't have to like act. You're just being yourself. Just literally have someone recording the conversation, and that's really, it's just an idea, but like I think it's like really fun because I hang out with you guys every once in a while, especially when we play soccer. You guys just fool around. It's mad funny, and like yeah, I mean you're just being yourself. Like you know, it's fun.
Yeah, I would love to do that, man. We always have a lot of funny moments, you know. We really wish you could share it with everybody. I tell some people at my job, you know, certain stories, and they're like, "Yo, you guys should like record it. You guys should make a show or something." And you know, it always comes up like that. So maybe we will do it one of these days. I would love definitely let to make a YBL Instagram page, you know, and then we all post on there together, you know.
Yeah, definitely, man. If you do like if you do end up doing that, like just hit me up if you need any help. I can like do something to help you guys out. You know, get started with it. You know.
Of course, yeah, bro. We really appreciate that.
So yeah, man. So one final thing. So if people want to hit you up or like find you, what social media platforms, like where can they like hit you up? What platforms?
Mostly Instagram, you know. If people ever want to work, I'm down to work, you know. Send me something. I'd be down for on Instagram, Snapchat. I'll do Facebook as well. I'm mostly on those. I'm not on Twitter right now. I feel like having too much social media will distract me too much.
Mm-hmm.
But right now mainly would be Instagram, I would say, because I'll definitely see it on there.
Yeah. Do you memorize the handle off the top of your head? If not, I'll just add it in the show links so people can click
Yeah,
on.
it's my name Eddy underscore Soto 15 for Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Snapchat is Poncho underscore 16. And then Facebook is just my name, Eddy Soto. You know, I'm on there.
I bet. So hopefully, some of the audience can follow you and really see your progress and any new projects that you're gonna drop. I know you said you have a couple of projects coming up. But yeah, man, I really appreciate your time, bro. And I'm definitely looking forward your new projects, your new songs, and really how you kind of evolve as an artist, you know, and make it big. All right.
Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it, bro. Thank you.
All right.